'Cause it's just loose lips. I try better than I sing, so go ahead and enjoy.
Should we have a chat about Ozil? I mean, I personally
Yeah,
feel that the stats are supporting the player. I don't, you know, you can't hide behind the fact that last season he had 2 assists. Like as much as he can be adorned or anything like that, I just don't. I don't know if the ship, if it sailed on him. I wouldn't
yeah,
say that because there's definitely a player there. And I
yeah,
read
yeah,
something interesting. I think Paul Merson said it, even though I'm not a Merson fan at the moment for what he's been chatting about Arsenal. But I think he said that him and Sanchez, it was
yeah,
just the perfect pair, and they've both
yeah.
struggled since. I'd like to get your views on that because personally, I think if Ozil and Aber, like he should be getting 10, 15 assists a season with players like that in the team.
Yeah, it's a weird one. The thing is, when it comes to assists, right? Obviously, that's what Ozil's made his career on, and that's why we talk about that and we look out for that stat. It's much harder to get an assist than it is a goal, and that's proven in the Premier League. If you look at the top assister of a season, no one's ever done 30, but rate like very. Let's say like there's be about 8 to 10 players maybe that have got 30 goals in a season. For some reason, it's harder to get assists than it is goals. So always be that person providing that thing because there's four midfielders always trying to provide and funneling it to one or two strikers. So the striker will get the goals and the assists are more kind of spread. But Ozil had an incredible track record of getting assists. And now when he only gets two in a season, we're like, what the hell? You're past it. You're gone.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, go on because
Yeah.
I just it's not the volume that we're expecting because you've got to think even at Arsenal he had that season when did he get like 8 or 9 in a row?
It was ridiculous. He got an incredible number of assists, and that was feeding Giroud as well,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
wasn't the most
exactly.
clinical or pacey. But I just kind of feel like, look, the assists, I'm not going to ignore them entirely, but on the other hand, I don't think they always kind of tell the full story. And I look at a player, like everyone does, you're trying to get a player's overall contribution in a game. There's some games where Ozil will play absolutely brilliantly. He'll be impeccable, take so much pressure off the team, retain the ball. His passes always be to the not just to the right player, but at the right speed, to the right foot of the right player. Like it's honestly incredible when he's on his good form. But I have to say, we've got Mesut Ozil on £350,000 a week. If you look at Mesut Ozil's resume, his CV, World Cup winner, this, that, the other, and you say to yourself, how much should that player be on at this stage of his career? You say, oh yeah, easily 300, 350K. But when you look at him day to day playing, is he justifying that salary? Would you look at him as a £350,000 a week player? And then you turn around and say, no. If you look at the other earners of that nature in the Premier League, you'd kind of say, well, yeah, you're probably getting more from them than we are getting from Ozil.
Even
But
as
it's,
playmakers, you could list maybe 5 playmakers that are producing week in week out above him.
yeah, well, yeah, I have to agree. I don't think it's an efficient use of our resources at Arsenal to be paying him 350 grand a week. I don't think we're getting as much for it. You look at Aubameyang, for example, doing his job. No one can question it. Absolutely no one can question it. He's doing his job fantastically well. He's on less money. You look at Leno, for example, really someone like who's earning his money. But then with Ozil, I kind of feel like, yeah, for that money, you would expect more return. But that's the problem. We're looking at it kind of just game by game, performance by performance. But that's not why he's on 350 grand a week. He's on 350 grand a week, firstly, because of his CV,
Yeah,
because of the star that he is, and he's put himself in that position where he's so highly rated. And then secondly, as well, it was a timing thing
yeah.
with
He hustled
Alexis
it.
leaving.
He hustled it really well.
Exactly. And that's life, People that make millions off the stock market is always a timing thing. It's not because, they're necessarily just as they realize at a point in time that this is the right time to buy or this is the right time to sell. So yeah, Ozil and his agent played a blinder. Just how Aaron Ramsey did. He's on 400 grand a week. Is he really a 400 grand a week player? But it's the way football is, isn't it? It's the way the cookie crumbles. And Ozil, for me as well, the one thing that I think a lot of people don't consider with him is that he achieved, in my opinion, not too much, but he achieved so much very, very early in his career. And then where'd you go from there? We can't deny that Real Madrid are a bigger club than Arsenal. And when he's leaving Real Madrid, naturally it's a step down. And I think to myself, you know, you're on more money at a club where there's less pressure. You've won everything there is to win. And I just wonder if, does he have as much motivation? Had he, you know, had he started off at Arsenal, like, you know, you look at Ozil at Werder Bremen, I think it would have been a different game. When he first came to the country, I think he had something to prove, and I think he did really well. He was brilliant. He was a revelation. But now I feel like he's got married. He's on £350,000 a week in one of the best cities in the world. He's won everything there is to win. He's coming to the last phase of his career. I don't think he's hungry.
'Cause it's just loose lips. I try better than I sing, so go ahead.